my podcast comes out. And it's hump day, right? So we're almost there. I am closing up the little A minus life podcast series today with the U and S, the us. But first, I'll go off on my little current events tangent. I don't really have much today. Today was kind of a anticlimactic day, and a couple conversations that I did have with clients today, I probably shouldn't chat about on the podcast because it would be a little bit of a roast to some people. And again, I don't want to do that. So I'll leave that behind for now. I'm sure I'll combust at some point. So I'm going to talk a little bit about workouts that we have just started. So recently, I'd say, I guess when this comes out, it'll be like a month. We started, and I say we, me and Coach Steph, because we pretty much work out together. We follow the same workout plan. Started a plan with some drop sets in it. I've never really done drop sets, and they kind of intrigued me. Plus, I kind of like guinea pigging myself before I program things for clients. So I program a workout. My coach Aram looks it over. He critiques it. He asks me questions on why I'm doing certain things, if I could do something better. He goes over it, and then we come up with the final plan together, which is pretty cool, right? Instead of him just giving me a plan, I make it. We go over it, so I learn, and then we come up with a nasty ass lifting routine. So for this chunk of time, you guys know I usually do 12 to 16 week blocks. We're doing some drop and chunk sets. So for anyone that doesn't know what those are, I shall explain. So a drop set, right, is where you do a certain set with a certain amount of weight. And then on the last set, you drop the weight by 40 to 50%. And then you do as many reps as possible at a lower weight, but it's right after that last set. So for example, I do one set of shoulder press, 8 to 10 reps as heavy as I can. I do another set of shoulder press, 8 to 10 reps as heavy as I can. Then I do my third set of shoulder press, 8 to 10 reps as heavy as I can. Then right away after my third set, no rest, I cut the weight in half and I go to failure with that lower weight. These are brutal. I get gassed. It is definitely a heart rate jumper. And for all my gals that love to feel the burn, holy shit, do you feel the burn? It is hard, but I love them so far. They're definitely challenging, and they have definitely taken my breath away. And I guess most of you guys will know by now that I am with child number 3. So one of my lame symptoms that I do get is I do get out of breath a little bit quicker when I am newly pregnant. Probably again because my body is dedicating energy to other places. So a mix of me being, I guess, when I'm recording this, about 11 weeks pregnant, and adding the drop sets in, whew, I am winded at the end of these drop sets. So you usually do drop sets for like not smaller movements, but more isolated movements. So like a shoulder press, not necessarily a squat, like a seated row, not necessarily a deadlift, right? So they are kind of upper body, not focus, but they set themselves up for upper body movements a little bit better. You wouldn't do like a drop set on bench necessarily, right? You wouldn't do, I don't know, bigger movements for your upper body, but a lot of the things that I programmed were kind of specific for the ability to do drop sets because I did want to try these out this programming schedule. So it's been awesome. I definitely am feeling, some growth, and it's been great, but they are definitely hard. And then the chunk part of this workout program, and this is something I didn't really ever hear about, and Aram brought it up because I had programmed the drop sets for my legs as well. And he was like, instead of doing drop sets for like the bigger compound movements, do what's called a chunk set. And I was like, what the hell is that? And so try and understand this. I know I'm a visual person, so it was a little bit tricky for me to listen and hear it, but I'll try and describe it like very simply. It's taking a set of 10, right? A squat set of 10. Normally I would do 225, right? But that's, doing 1 rep, 2 rep, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No real rest, maybe a breath here and there, but no rest. 10 reps in a row, 225. Instead of doing that, you put 275 on the bar and you chunk up the 10 in sets of like a 4, then a 3, then a 2, then a 2, or something like that, right? You chunk it up with a little bit of rest so you can start lifting more weight for the same amount of reps with a little bit of rest included. So let's say you do like 4 reps at 275, rack the bar, count to 20, catch your breath a little bit, put the bar on your back again. You get to 3 this time, rack the bar, count to 20, 7. All right. Put it on your back again. You get to 3 more. There you go. There's your set of 10 chunked in 3 little mini sets. Okay. And you still do 3 sets of 10 and they're just chunked up. So you still do the same amount of reps, but you get a heavier lift in and they're kind of chunked up. Now, I have not actually done these yet because of my damn back. I haven't pushed it hard. I've been having some real back issues. Like I probably should have done a podcast on this, but like I hurt my back really bad Easter of 2020. So bad that I was on the ground in our garage gym. I couldn't move because anything I did hurt. So like I was flat. I was sumo deadlifting like 125 pounds. Like it wasn't even heavy. It just been something went. And I was flat on the ground, belly down. And if I moved one leg in, excruciating pain. The other, if I even tried to go up on my palm or my elbow, excruciating pain. Anything I did hurt so bad. And I have a pretty high pain tolerance. And I just felt paralyzed because any movement was debilitating. So I literally just laid there. My lovely neighbor at the time brought over an chocolate Easter bunny that she had, and I literally nibbled on it, facing stomach down. Rustin was in there. He was not even 1 year old yet. It was bad. And, then I think it was like 2022, it kind of happened again, not to the point where I was paralyzed, but I was RDL, dumbbell RDL, and I hurt it really bad to the point where I didn't think I could leave the gym. Like I was going to have to call Tom to drive me home. And then, but that was 2 years later. And then ever since 2022, it like has been happening like way too often. I've never gotten an MRI. I've actually never gone to the doctor for it because I'm a fucking idiot and stubborn. I've done, acupuncture. I've done my own rehab, whatnot. But this tomorrow, actually, I'm going to a doctor. So I will update you guys. But I haven't, and it's been like really upsetting because I love lifting heavy and I love being able to move and everything. I've just been in a constant state of pain, like sleeping hurts. So I don't even sleep well. Bending down to take the dishes out, I have to go down to one knee. I can't bend over and I can only go down to my right knee. Putting on socks has pretty much been not happening because I can't get my feet high enough to put my socks on. So it's been rough. I don't really get sad, but it's kind of made me sad. So I haven't chunked sets yet because I just haven't been pushing weight. I haven't gone up in weight, progressive overload with my lower body in probably like a month and a half, 2 months. So instead, I kind of did drop sets, not to the point of like failure, but to the point of like, holy shit. So we did a couple, me and my friend Ashley, we did pitch shark squats the other day, which were really cool. That's where you put the belt around your hips and you kind of hold on to the railing and squat. This was amazing for my back. I have some serious bruises on my hips right now, but I will take that over back pain any day. And then we did lighter hack squats with a drop set, some RDLs, no drop set, glute kickbacks, no drop set. And then I did a drop set with leg extension. Oh my come to Jesus moment. I was dying. If you ever do a drop set with leg extension after a squat, deadlift, glute kickback, hack squat day, you will never walk right again. I literally almost fell to the ground when I got out of the machine. But the new workout plan's been pretty awesome, pretty devilish, which I always love. Nothing makes me happier than when my clients will start a new block and be like, "This is so hard. This is from the Satan himself." That is my love language. So I always guinea pig the blocks before I give them to my clients. But this one's been pretty cool. So if you have any questions on drop sets or chunk sets, please like reach out. They're definitely a cool way to switch up some things in your training if you're getting a little bored. I mean, they're not fun. Don't get like they're not a fun thing to do. They hurt. But it's definitely a cool little method. All right. So also the fact that I am with child and haven't done a podcast on it yet is because I really want to sit down and do not a great one, but a nice in-depth one. And I just feel like I don't want to break up this little A minus series. So next week I will definitely do that. Even though, not that exciting, but well, not that exciting in the sense that like I have very boring pregnancies, but I guess that's a good thing. But I will catch you up on that next week. Yay for baby number 3. Okay, so back to the A minus podcast. You, unapologetic. I love this one because it's more of like a mindset one. And I'm actually not woo woo on mindset all that much. But the more I do coaching, the more I am. I'm in a course right now, healthy mindset coaching course. I think that's what it stands for, HMCC. Coach Casey, I don't want to mess up her last name. It starts with an O. It's like Orgidas. I said that wrong, but she's amazing. She's super popular in the health and fitness world. Her course is a 4-month course. We have Zooms, we have tests. It's pretty amazing. Very eye-opening because at the end of the day, it's very often that your health and fitness habits and the the track record of it has a lot more to do with mindset and how you were raised and how you view yourself rather than like a fucking bag of popcorn, right? So it's definitely interesting to get to that. And it also opens my eyes to the fact that not everybody's like me, which is definitely a flaw of mine. I kind of just assume that people have my resiliency and people have my mindset and people look at things the way I look at things. And that's definitely not true. And I'm trying to take my blinders off. And this is for sure helping. So under unapologetic, we work on self-identity. So one of the big things with our clients is we don't want them to just like change the way they eat or like decide that they're going to go to the gym. We want them to like associate that with their identity. Like they're they are someone who works out, right? They are someone who focuses their meals around protein, right? I want them to embody this whole change. I don't want them to just like think of this as like, oh yeah, I don't eat pizza anymore. No, 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 no. You are someone that focuses on a balanced plate, right? I don't take a nap after work anymore. No, you are someone that goes to the gym to work on their fitness after work, right? Like, I don't want to be a not person. I want them to focus on what they are doing. Boundaries. This is a big one. I just think I just said that with the last one. Sorry, repetitive. Unfortunately, sometimes our loved ones can be the biggest assholes with our lifestyle changes, right? They give us the biggest pushback, the most judgment, and that's not okay, right? Like, it actually makes me so angry when I hear that, like, parents or like best friends or spouses are the ones that are like judging people for not wanting to get Taco Bell and maybe make home tacos or for asking to go for a walk after dinner. Like that's all about their insecurities. That is because they don't like the fact that you are making better choices. It makes them feel bad. So they want you to come down to their level and that will make them feel better, right? It is a 100% self reflection on them, right? It's they don't like not making the choices you are. So they want you to come down to their level so they don't feel badly about themselves. Any person that has self confidence would never judge somebody for being healthier. And that's when you need to take a step back and look at who your true friends are. Are they the ones being like, come on, get pizza, have this 12 pack of high noon, come on? That's not a great friend, especially if you're at the point where like you're starting to have health issues at a young age, right? Like I have some clients that like have legitimate health issues at age 27 or 30. Your friends should not be pushing you to eat the birthday cake, eat the pizza, have the booze when like your health is actually at risk. Like you're borderline diabetic at 30 years old. How about your bestie doesn't push you to have, take out 4 nights a week with margaritas on the side, right? They're not looking out for you. And that stupid line of live a little. Well, you're actually not. Like you're probably going to die early for that decision. So we need to set boundaries with our loved ones. We need to let them know exactly how we feel, right? Like I'm going to bring my own food to this event and I'm going to eat it. And I don't want to hear it from any of you guys because I'm trying to make myself better for me and for you. So we definitely work on boundaries. And it is also wild to me and my husband like how people think there's some written rule that you like have to partake in every celebration. Um, I mean, we're not huge birthday people, so maybe that's why, but like a birthday is one day, right? You weren't born 7 days out of the month. You weren't born for the whole month of March. You're also not five. Like, I understand celebrating on the day of your birthday, but you don't need to like go out to dinner with your wife and then go out to dinner with your parents and then go out to dinner with your in-laws and then go out to a bar with your friends and then like they made me have birthday cake or like they brought me food. Like you're a grown ass adult. Like, all right, we're celebrating my birthday on my birthday. If whoever wants to come, come. There's one spot. It's my day. Like other people don't dictate how you celebrate your birthday. But it is wild, right? Like people use birthdays as such an excuse. Like, oh, it's my grand's 90th birthday. Like I had to have the cake, the sushi, and the pizza. Like, no, you didn't. Grand doesn't give a shit. Like hang out with her. So we definitely work on boundaries. Confidence, and that is totally tied to boundaries. Having confidence in your decisions, right? Like this kind of goes back to self-identity where like if someone asks you, do you want this high noon? And you're like, no, I shouldn't. Right? That's just like opening the gate for for peer pressure, right? Because you don't have any solid answer there, right? You're almost like, come on, convince me, right? So no, I'm not drinking today. Like, okay, why? Because I don't want to, and I'm gonna, because I'm not. That's it. I'm not drinking tonight. Okay. Right? Like have confidence in your answers. Like, oh, you guys want to go out for happy hour? Like, oh no, I'm going to the gym instead. But if you want to come over, I'll cook dinner for us later. Right? Like, oh, I'm supposed to go to the gym. Right? That, like that openness to like be swayed or persuaded. Like stand firm in your answers and your choices. And then present an alternative that is just as good for you if you really want to be or see the person that's saying that. Empowerment, again, ties to that confidence. Like, I want you to feel this kind of has to do with lifting, especially for females for me. I don't know what feels better than fucking lifting heavy weight as a female. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to be Mrs. Schwarzenegger, but like when I like go and pick up dumbbells and see guys like look at me like, what the fuck is she gonna do with those? Like those are heavy. Or like, some dudes on the squat rack and I go on next and I'm like, oh no, you can keep that weight on. Like, hell yeah. Like I get a little bit of pride running through me and I think that's fine. Or I can carry my own shit, or like I can just do things myself. Like, especially as a female, like not needing someone. It's one of the first things I think of when I see like very frail females. Like, how do you do anything? Right? Like those women that are just 1% body fat, 100 pounds, run a jillion miles a day, or just like go to double Orange Theory classes. Like, how do you do anything? Like, do you rely on your dad or your brothers or your husband for everything? Like, I like that I don't need anyone, right? I can pretty much, again, don't get me wrong, I can't fucking put a fridge over my head, but you guys know the story. I surely can carry one out with someone. That's empowering. And especially if you're a mom of girls, like let them see you be strong. I love that my daughter associates me with like going to the gym and lifting heavy and being strong. Like that makes me so happy to hear. I just think it's great. And then the last part of unapologetic, which I am just obsessed with, and I actually have it on a shirt, I have a book, is the word stoic, right? So stoic is an ancient Hellenistic, like philosophical term. Hellenistic was Alexander the Great time period where he like blended ancient Greece, ancient Rome, Egyptian culture all together. And it came from like the greatest thinkers, right? And it became the belief of like a person who can endure pain or hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. Now, don't get me wrong, right? I don't think you should get shot and then just like stone cold, no face. I forgot you guys can't see me, so I didn't do anything there, right? Or like if you're really, really, I'm not saying you should stifle all your emotions, right? But I just think we need to like relax on the roller coaster of life and how worked up we get over the smallest things, right? Like, oh my God, I have to study for a test and cook dinner for my family and go to work. Dude, that's life. So does 3 billion other people. Like, no big deal. Figure it out. It's life. Like, put go look at like slums in India or other places around this like this world and like you're going to complain? Like just no more roller coasters. Stop getting crazy high, crazy low, overreacting to small things. Just ride the plateau of emotion. Like, again, you can totally get happy and you can get sad, but I just think there needs to be a boundary of like how dramatic we are over the world's smallest things. Like these anthills that my clients come to me crying over. It's just, I don't know how you live life like that. Like, I could never get that worked up over these things and be happy. Like, again, I have a lot on my plate too, right? Business owner, full-time teacher, mom to two, pregnant, about to start a renovation on my house. I'm back in school as well. Like, these are things I put on my own plate too. Like, no one forced me to do these things, right? So when clients come to me and they're like, "Oh my God, I have all these things." Guess who did that to you? You, right? So we can't be shocked. You made those choices. This is I put up a post today about like blaming your kids for not being like because so like for things like, oh, I can't be healthy because I have so many things with my kids. You signed your kids up. You decided to have kids. You did this to yourself. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have had kids. Kids are amazing. But like, again, you chose this. You have to realize that you pretty much chose everything in life. Okay. You chose your job. You chose to have kids. You chose to sign them up for things. Like you did this to yourself. You have the power to not. You don't have to sign them up for things. You can change your job. You can change where you live. Like you're not actually tied down anywhere. And you might be like, oh my God, but I am. You're not. You might think you are. It might seem hard to quit your job and find another one that makes you happier. It might seem hard to sell your house and move somewhere that's more affordable. But guess what? You're not tied to anything. So we need to chill a little bit and handle emotions and bumps in the road. And again, become more resilient. All right, so now on to S, systems. I've done a whole podcast on like time management and stuff, so I'm not going to spend all that much time on this one, but it's a huge one. You cannot just ebb and flow with macros and lifting. You can't. You need to have habits in place. You need to have routines. You need to plan ahead. There needs to be that foundation. You cannot create this ultra amazing body internally and externally with no foundation, with no routine. Won't happen. Maybe when you were 21, you could. You're not doing that anymore. So planning ahead is essential, right? It is so obvious when I have new clients who aren't planning, right? They come to me and their first 2 weeks, their macros are a shit show. And I'm like, so what did we do here? They're like, well, I cooked. I thought I made good choices, but they were just cooking in the moment, figuring it out. And it's all over the place. You have to plan, right? You can think you're the world's most intuitive, smartest. I eat healthy all the time. You're not going to hit your macros. You're not. If I didn't plan at all and I'm in year 7, 8 of this, I would have a hard time hitting, right? And I'm very experienced. You have to plan a little bit. The newer you are, you have to plan a lot. Looking ahead, right, at days that you have meetings after school or when the kids have practice. So you can't decide to cook a 1 hour rotisserie chicken in the oven when you're getting home at 7 o'clock at night from practice, right? That doesn't work. Look ahead at your schedule. Oh, Monday, the kids don't really have anything. That's when I'm going to do my longer dinner. Tuesday, holy moly, we're in and out until 9 p.m. with practices. I'm going to make something pre-made. I'm going to meal prep that day for myself because I'm going to get the kids takeout. Okay, Wednesday, I'm home by 7. That's pretty late. So I'll do something quick like tacos. Third, like you have to look at your week. You have to, especially as a busy mom running kids around or working or doing other things. Like every single Thursday, I look at the week ahead and plan out when I have time to cook, what kind of meals I have time to cook. But it takes 10 minutes, right? Everyone can do it. Routines. I stick to routine. Every Thursday, I sit down and plan out the week ahead. Every Friday, I plan clothes for the next week. I put them in 5 little bins. There you go. Every Sunday, I meal prep. Every Friday, I order my Costco to be delivered Saturday morning. And yeah, of course, every once in a while, there's a wrench. Like 2 weeks ago when we went away to Sesame Place, correct, Costco did not come on Saturday morning. It came Friday night instead so I could put stuff in the freezer. So, yeah, there's going to be weeks where it doesn't exactly work, but for the most part, you can create days that have certain responsibilities to them and make your week a lot smoother. And then again, habits, right? One of my biggest habits, and I think this is literally life changing for anyone, don't sit. And I know that might sound crazy. Don't sit. When you get home from work, start doing things, right? When I get home from work, I put my bag down. I unpack the kids' lunch. I pack it up for the next day. I go to the dishwasher. If it is done, I empty it. I start right away. I don't change my clothes, put comfy clothes on, sit on the couch, take a minute. There's no time for that. Plus, it's a lot harder to get back up, right? So I don't sit. Um, I make sure I get things done because again, if I take a breather or if I, put things off, then I seem rushed and then I get overwhelmed. So once you get home, when you start to just keep going, keep the ball rolling, keep doing things. And again, I love my habits. I love my routines. When I wake up in the morning, I drink water with my vitamins every morning. Um, I always have like certain protein bars at certain times of the day. Just small things that I try and piggyback off each other. But the big ones, right, are when I get home from work. I pretty much check off all like the little house errands the second I walk in the door so I don't have to think about it later in the day. But systems is so important just in life in general. You have to create some sort of consistent life. And it is very apparent when people don't, right? Like I have, and I think I talked about this last podcast too. Like I have clients that have been with me for a year and they have yet to check off 2 consistent weeks of macros. 2. They haven't been able to do it. And not to, lessen their life obstacles, I guess, but like they're working mothers of 2 adult kids. Like one's in high school, one's in college. Like, I'm sorry, but you have fucking time. You have so much time. So it's bewildering to me what actually goes on. Like, I almost wish I could be a fly on the wall to some of these people. Like, oh, it's because you're sitting down for 2 hours to watch Netflix after work. Like, oh, it's because you save laundry for a month and then you have to do it. You never grocery shop with a list, so you're constantly running to the grocery store. You don't look ahead at your one kid's schedule for sports, so you're all over the place. Like you're you're a working mom of one kid that needs you and like you can't get your shit together, right? That's because you're not planning. And I'm sorry, but you're not trying. I could do a whole podcast on that effing word. I did actually. The whole word try, right? That word needs to be thrown out once you hit the age of 10. Like anything that I'm asking a client to do, they can do. It's again, not climbing Mount Everest. It's making a fucking grocery list and eating chicken. You can do it. It's if you want to do it or not. So that is the systems part with a couple tangents thrown in the middle, but I think everybody loves those. And that is about it. So this was a wrap for the A- little series. I hope this was informative with what it's our pillars stand for, and you get to know a little bit more about our coaching and our methodology and why we're different than other places, what we focus on. It's not just, again, your health and fitness, it's your overall life. And I really do think, and I've read this a bunch in client check-ins, that these habits and like mindset shifts and things they've learned with health and nutrition have carried over into their parenting, their work, like just their overall life, which is huge. I love hearing that. Um, and that is that. Again, we got two awesome assistant coaches taking clients right now, Coach Steph, Coach Kylie. Um, they are amazing. Check out their Instagrams. Please ask them any questions you want. They're both super educated. Steph, again, gut guru. She's going back for her holistic nutritionist license, which is pretty badass. Kaylee is a nurse again, she has autoimmune issues that she's been dealing with forever, and she's smoking and fit. So she's overcome them. Just again, really great, again, working moms who've got it done. So apply to work with them. They're taking a couple clients each. And I will probably be opening my roster, but not until like September. I'm pretty packed out, which is very exciting. But yeah, that is that. Have an awesome day. Live A minus, show up, and get it done.